Hi everybody, this is Frank Perrin from Al-Asad, and today I am joining you to do a review on a Dhal or Separ that I picked up from Purpleheart Armory a few months ago. Now, if anyone knows anything about me or has followed me, you know that I have a pretty good relationship with Purpleheart Armory. They make a lot of stuff for HEMA. That's how they started out. That is historical European martial arts, and then they branched out into other regions of the world, and that began with a few I believe Chinese blades, and it spread to other to other parts of the world. And these are synthetic training weapons, like this Hanjar. And as I was getting to know the kind people at Purpleheart, I kind of helped advising them a little bit too on some of their Persian stuff, and I've had a pretty good relationship with them since. And I wanted to actually review this Separ and kind of just talk about a little bit about it and my thoughts on this shield. So if you want to know anything about this here, it is a Separ or Dhal. Separ being the pronunciation for it in its use in the context of Persian martial arts and Persian swordsmanship, and Dhal is its name in the context of its use and that of the martial arts of India. So whether or not you're looking to get into practicing swordsmanship from Persia or India, a small shield like this is something that's going to be very, very useful. Now, what we have to remember is these words just mean a shield in their native languages. So a shield like this could come in various sizes. It's just a general term to refer to this as a shield. So my initial impressions on this is that the weight, first off in itself, is very, very manageable, right? It's very easy to maneuver, and I'm not feeling a lot of problems with the weight. Like I've used this in some sparring matches, and I'm not having a problem moving it or moving it. I've actually struck with it. It's very, very nicely weighted, and that's one of the first things I noticed. It's not feeling cumbersome, overbalancing, and I believe it's only about correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's 16 gauge steel, so it's really good for fighting synthetics and sparring weapons such as fetters and other steel weapons like that. So overall, aesthetically, it really does fit the bill for what you would see with Separs or Dhals. I'm going to go ahead and put a few examples here on the screen from the Metropolitan Museum of Art, so you can see how this one kind of compares to the historical examples. Yeah, so there you have it. It fits the bill very well for historical examples. For historical example, these buckles here in the front match up pretty well with some of the ones that you see in the style from the Met. Now, I already spoke to the people at Purpleheart about this and got the corrections in. This is actually a Gen 1 of this Separ, but the only real big criticism that I had when I saw it was actually the way it was strapped on the back. But for a functional purpose, the strapping isn't a problem. I mean, I played around with this a lot, and for a functional design, it actually works very, very, very well. I have with me another Separ that is constructed more historically, and you see how in the back it is strapped with leather cord, and the buckles are actually in the front where the rings meet to hold the leather cord. So this is technically the way that they're supposed to be done up. The reason being is so that you can actually grip a khanjar behind your separ and use it as almost an offhand, or use your main weapon to clear your opponent and get the khanjar in the gaps to the armor. That's kind of like what the purpose was behind this strapping. However, with this one, for a modern take on it, it gets the job done. You can still hold it. You can also unbuckle these, and you can exit in the front you can cross it. Rather, you can make like an X crossing for the strapping in the back. So it serves its purpose. However, though, the one thing I want to give some credit for is that Purpleheart did listen, and on their Generation 2s of these, they are strapped with the leather more historically accurately. Because without that, what you get is these false buckles that actually don't go to anything, and they're supposed to connect. But one really good upside, though, to this Gen 1, I will admit, is that it's very much sparring glove and mitt friendly. The strapping, the buckles, allows you to slip your hand in there with a gauntlet quite nicely and still kind of hold what you need to. You can do it with this. You just got to take a little bit more time to do it because of the way that the leather is strapped up. So even if with a Gen 1, the Separ is really good. It was coming in about $80 American dollars, and I think that's really, really worth the money. You get an historically accurate shield to its aesthetics. You get something that is very useful functionally with the buckles in the back, right? You lose a little bit of the accuracy with the Gen 1 with these big leather belt straps, but it's not too bad because you can still get your glove in there and you don't really see it from behind. And if you want the accurate feel, you've got the Gen 2s with the more accurate leather strapping in the back. The weight is good, and this thing holds up really, really well. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a very serious recommendation. It's a great Separ. It's a great shield for its price point, about $80 US. Highly recommend you grab one and check them out if you just want to kind of feel out how a Separ will work, and keep an eye on those Gen 2s as well as they evolve and as they progress. So I'm going to go ahead and leave at the end of the video a little bit of play that I did with a friend of mine in Armor, using these Separs and khanjars to exploit the gaps in our armor. So with that in mind, please follow the link below in the comments if you're interested in picking one of these up. They're very well made. It's a great price. It's a great price point for what you're getting. And if you have any questions, of course, please leave them below. And this has been Frank Perrin. I will see you next time on Al-Asad, House of the Lion. Thank you.
Oh, this sucks. You big man. Was that a double?
You got him first.
I got him first?
Yeah.
All right.